Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are ready to have a great week. Um, so today I want to talk about something interesting, actually, that that I heard here in my workplace when we have like an AU and they can ask us anything kind of thing every month, and so they asked our CEO and our founders, like what how do we hire the right people, and like why do we like make sure that we're hiring the right people and everything else. And I won't go into the entire answer, but there's one thing that he said is that we hire people who are a good cultural fit, and we hire people who aren't like the brilliant jerk, because the brilliant jerk is never going to succeed. They'll make themselves look good, but if they're bringing, and oftentimes they bring down those around them, and I mean those people stand out pretty quickly. And it's great, oh yeah, I'm going to be super smart and go into a job, which is fantastic if that's what you want to do. But being that brilliant jerk, not really going to go very far, because like what good is it if you're like, I look great, but your team doesn't resents you, or your team's failing. I used to always look at it as that like if you look at a team dynamic, if one of you fails, you all fail, and that's how it should be. Because you know what, like you elevate each other, you push each other to do better. You're only forward advancing the team really at that point. So like I think that was a real powerful thing to to really take from. And I look at this morning. There's a snowstorm last night, and it's like I struggled to get from my car to the building because it's a crazy amount of snow. And like I went out and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shovel by the doors. Just there's a nice bit of a pathway, and it may not be all the way to the parking lot, but at least it's people get to that one point. And I thought about it. I'm just like, you know what, like people are gonna struggle through that snow, and like if I can make that a little bit easier for everybody, I mean, to me that's worth it, right? Like it's those little bits of kindness and those little acts sometimes that add up. Like having a miserable day driving to work, like I know I did. I mean, I'm driving here at like 4 something in the fucking morning, and it's still like, even though there's no cars, it still sucked driving because like most of the stuff was like plowed-ish, but like there's still a lot of things where I'm like swerving a little bit and like kind of my tires are spinning, and like it's not a great time. So like I mean, people are gonna have a bad time driving here, already. And it's like they have that little thing of where, kind of reminds you, that there's still, goodness in the world, I guess. I know like driving to work is not like, this looming killing your day thing, but, coming to work and then just seeing, hey man, someone shoveled that. That's awesome. It's that much less of the time that you're like trekking through snow. Like, I mean, snow was like fucking ankle deep on me. You know what I mean? If I took, a good like 10 feet of that away for you, people are going to look and be like, that's awesome, like, and even if people don't notice, that's still fine to me, because, like, I know I did something good. And I mean, if it benefits at least one person or, a couple people, it, not necessarily turns their day around, but like makes their day a little bit easier. I mean, to me, that allows our team here to do that much better. And, I think that's a really important thing to draw upon, is that the team is always going to be bigger than you. And I think that's a lot of, like, sometimes in certain places, not here, but like in some places, I know that's a hard concept to get around. It's like, obviously your customers are always going to be first, but then it's like the team's bigger than you, and then there's you, like you're kind of the last in that sort of pyramid, but which is fine, because realistically, when you look at it, it's like you are there because like you're hired because there's a need to fill for the customer, and that you're also there because the team needed more people to help those customers, right? So like it makes no sense to go, I'm going to go in by myself, I'm going to be great, I don't care what anyone else is doing, I'm going to push those people aside, I'm just going to focus on how great I do and don't care about anything else. Like, okay, cool. So you went in, made the point of being like, I'm this much better than everybody, I can do everything by myself. Cool. But like now your team looks at you as like, wow, that guy's a dick. Like he's not caring, he's not, helping anybody else out when they need it. He's just, hoarding his knowledge, looking down on others, just pushing through. Like it's not a way to live, like it's not a way to work, it's not a way to live either. Like, you should be looking at your team. Like when I work with my team every day, I constantly help everybody. Well, not everybody, but like I constantly help anybody who needs it. Well, like I'm never going to just keep that information to myself. Like I'm my like niche expertise on our team is analytics, and like yeah, it's cool to be the analytics person for my team. I'm not going to know everything for sure, but like it's cool when people come to me for it. But I'm never going to be like, wow, you don't know analytics, and just, brush people off. I'm stoked when people want to learn from me, like that's, for me, it's like I'm a resource to be used here. And like, I want to help make everybody better. Just like when I have, questions about like technical stuff, there's tons of people on my team that I ask. And you know what? Not only the best thing about it, and like this is something that's very unique to this workplace, is not only are they happy to help, but like they're so willing to help and teach and make you understand why this thing is the way it is, or why this is the fix. And that, to me, that drive of my team is what like keeps me going every single day. And like that's the thing, is like I know anybody on my team, if they were down or feeling shitty or whatever, I know everybody on my team is going to work to pick them up and help our team succeed as a whole. I don't think there's one like really selfish person on my team. Every single person is invested in everybody's success. And I mean, I think that's a unique thing in the workplace. And, tying it back to, my original point of like, we don't hire the brilliant jerk. I think like that really shows in a lot of aspects. Like, I look at across my, like, when at my previous jobs, I'd look around and I'd be like, I'd see a cluster of people or something, and be like, I don't like that guy, that guy's just out for himself, like I'd have some sort of like issue where I just like didn't really want to associate with certain people, just because of the way they, that negativity or whatever. And, like I look here and I look across my entire department, like we've got like a frontline team, like 3 app teams, in like our sort of customer service type thing, and like a tier 2 team. And I look at every single one of them, and I don't think there's one person where I'm like, fuck that guy, or fuck that person, I don't want to talk to them. Like I'm stoked to see every single one of them come in every day, and like knowing, like I personally know that like throughout that day, any single one of those people could be the person that I learn from. Because like, I mean, our apps change, but like more or less, like there's so many different skill sets here. And like, I don't know, like when I look at it, it's crazy because like I feel like every single person in this entire team was like this very specific, like, we hired you specifically for like a like very specific reason. I know it's all because they're awesome, and like they are all awesome, and they all have a really great attitude about this place and about the work. But like I feel like it's just like, they all had this strategic sort of like all the pieces came together, and we had all of these very specific skill sets. And it's just really cool. And like I said, I love coming into work every day. I love doing this. This is like something I do just for the, because I want to. And, like I come in and I learn every day. And like I learn because I want to move and move up. But I also learn because like I want to bring that to the table for this place, right? Like I know everything I learn will make this place better in some capacity because I'll be able to help somebody else with it. Like you asked me when I started here if I would like learn something like, in my case it was analytics, but like learn something where like I was going to go and be helping like our developers or like our QA department. And like, that's, that's crazy to me. I never thought of like, no one's going to want to learn from me for like fucking years from now. But like, you start to not be this like, as some people refer to as like the negative resource, or like, you're constantly asking questions and you need a lot of help right when you start. But like, you start to see that turnaround where you're starting to help and being able to answer things very quickly, where you can start being that positive thing and that learning resource and everything else. So it's really neat. But anyways, I've been rambling on a long time for this. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate everyone who supports me in this. One of our founders watches this every day, and I mean, it's super awesome. Shout out to you, Jay. You're awesome. But every single day and every view I get, every, Facebook page, every like subscriber, to me, it means the world. Any little thing is, just absolutely awesome to me. So if you guys haven't already, like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be aware of future videos and all that jazz. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.